And a good evening. Welcome out to the patio here at the Sheila Humphrey Rec Center. We're on the campus of Lamar University. Inviting you to come on out on, still plenty of time if you're in the neighborhood. Come on, we're out here till 8 o'clock talking Cardinal football. Cardinals coming off that tough loss up in Nacogdoches to nationally ranked, 15th ranked SFA, who's the number one seed coming out of the Southland Conference. And just, Coach, looking back at that game, some missed opportunities along the way, and obviously playing a really good football team.
Yeah, I thought they were great defense. I thought, I thought we were smoking pretty good coming out the gate, and had that 11-play drive at the beginning, and came up empty-handed, and that's never good against a good defense. And I thought they were probably one of the top defenses in the country, and I think we average way more per play than they've given up, and we just had some opportunities that we squandered early in the game, and then our defense couldn't seem to get off the field on third down, and that always runs into trouble as you get to the time of possession numbers at the end of the game.
LaDamian McDowell, you've been talking about this true freshman throughout the year, always saying he's one step away, and we saw that. In the second quarter when he goes 54 yards for a touchdown, and he was pulling away from everyone. Even though he stumbled a little bit,
he did.
He still pulled away from everybody, and we saw what he can do.
Well, he didn't really stumble. He kind of jumped out of the guy tried to go low on his legs, and he kind of jumped out of it. And he's a pretty special player when he can get the ball in his hands. And I think as a freshman, all those guys kind of go through ebbs and flows of a season, And it's hard to be really consistent as a freshman every single game when you're playing 12 games. They're not used to that. They're used to playing 9 games and getting ready for the playoffs. So I think right now he's kind of catching a second wind, and he's playing really well for us. And good opportunity for him here on Saturday to help us out.
Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit later on, but we do have a huge one coming up on Saturday, and we need the fans out there, folks. We need 10,000 plus out there when McNeese comes to town. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Still talking about SFA. That game itself, you put it behind you. How do you move forward? What do you tell the kids after the game? All things along those lines.
Well, you knew it was going to be a huge game, tightly contested. I think, 13-7 at halftime. Mm-hmm. Just we knew it was going to be one of them knockdown, drag-out types of games, and it was, and it really was until, the third quarter when they kind of, scored a couple touchdowns and then kind of put a little separation, and then we come back, score with 5 minutes to go in the game, and get the 2-point conversion and get it within 11, 2-score game, and get the ball back and really have an opportunity to put us points on the board. We had 2 opportunities in that drive for big plays, and we just didn't execute and didn't. Obviously Robert goes out of the game. He was the guy who took the most majority of the reps this week. Aiden comes in, takes him a couple drives to get his feet on the ground, and when he did, the ball moved, and it was good to see, and good to see him out there throwing the ball well at the end.
Let's talk about Robert a little bit. Took what I thought was a late hit, a spear, maybe a spear, whatever it may be.
Yeah, targeting.
He takes it on the shoulder and takes it up high.
Yeah.
Just talk about him a little bit, and how's he doing?
Well, he's obviously he's going to be out this week, and that pretty much will end his career at Lamar, and that's sad, and obviously the way that goes, and I think the one thing that I said in the press conference, and I wanted to always thank Robert for all he done for Lamar football. And when he got here in the spring of 2023 from junior college, and we brought him in as the only quarterback transfer. And man, he did an unbelievable job for us and really helped us become what we are today, and really brought us. I mean, what were they with the year before I got here? 1-10.
Yeah, Lamar's 1-10.
And Robert's won 6, 7, and this year 8 games so far. And I hope your hats go off to him, because man, no one is more passionate about Lamar. He's crying at the end of the game, And I said, Rob, it's going to be all right. You're going to heal. He's like, I'm not crying because I'm hurt. I'm crying because we lost. We want to win that game, and that's just the kind of guy we got there, and just appreciate so much what he did for this program, and to help us get out of the basement and into championship contention.
I'm going to use the word what he does, because although he won't be on the field Saturday, he's still a big part, because he's a guy, as a captain, he's one of your guys that you will see on the sideline Saturday, rooting for Aiden and rooting for all the kids, rooting for everybody.
Yeah,
he's your team guy.
Yeah, those are his teammates, and I think that's always what's most impressive about Rob. And we always know that quarterbacks take way too much of the criticism and probably get too much of the credit when you win. And I think that he understands that and he knows that, but. I do hope that everybody appreciates all the things that guy's done for us in 3 years.
Defensively, just talk about your play on Saturday, another huge game for your senior Christian Pugh. 12 tackles.
Yeah.
Braden Faulkner had added 8. But you look at Christian, of those 12 tackles, 4 of them solo. He gets up to the line and makes contact. And
I think he had 2 tackles for loss too. I think he made a couple plays behind the line of scrimmage. Very, very impressive. They say your best players make their biggest plays in the biggest games. And Christian and Braden Faulkner, they're supposed to be the backbone of our defense, and they were on Saturday. And those guys played an incredible game, and they really gave us an opportunity to hang in that game, the way they played. And I was proud of them. I'm proud of our whole team. I thought our team played extremely hard. We didn't execute the way we needed to. I know that for sure, and obviously everybody saw that. But I am proud of how hard we played and how we fought till the end. And those, when we scored, I don't think anybody had any doubt that the defense was going to get us the ball back. They got us the ball back very, very quickly, and I think they lost 7 or 8 yards on that drive and punted us. We had a big return, and we had a penalty on the return, but we had a big return. So I think everybody kind of felt really good about where we were at that time, and just proud of our guys the way they fight, and proud of our defense the way they keep us in every game, and continue to play really, really well. And we just had some young players playing in the game. The moment was really big, and not that they didn't play well, but they didn't maybe play up to the level of that they needed to win that game.
One play in particular, Christian, I want to talk about and get your thoughts. He went down. He went to cramping. He stood up for maybe 2 seconds and then goes back down, and that cost you a timeout. I mean,
completely Bush League.
Come on.
League. Terrible officiating, to be honest with you. They had the discretion to not do that because he was down.
Right.
They were about to blow the whistle. He got helped up, went back down with cramps, and just to me, in my eyes,
I think it's
Bush League officiating.
It's unnecessary, and rule is if the ball's set and a player goes down, that costs you a timeout. But we're talking 2, maybe 3 seconds at the most, because he basically stood up. Somebody helped him up.
Yeah, but he was already down.
Yeah,
that's the thing. That
he was down.
If he had gotten up and then cramped and went down, I would really have no argument there. But the official, the referee actually saw him down, was about to blow it dead, and then he saw him get helped up, and then he walked 2 steps and went back down. He knew it. He knew the guy was hurt. I thought it was Bush League. To be honest with you, I didn't think they did a good job with that play there.
Getting the Cardinals dropped that one to SFA, that final again, 26-15. We are talking with Coach Pete Rossomando. We're out at the patio. We're back on News Talk 560 KLVI. News Talk 560 KLVI. Back out at the patio here at the Sheila Humphrey Rec Center, talking Lamar University football. Hey, for you out here today, tell everybody about this. For our listeners live on the radio right now, we're talking about getting people out of the game on Saturday. How about this? 4 tickets for $19.
Yeah, under $20.
Yeah, under $20. 4 tickets. Nowhere. 4 tickets. That's good for the rest of today and again tomorrow. Let everybody know about it. You can go online, LamarCardinals.com. Go online or call 409-880-1715. Get your tickets. 4 tickets, less than $20.
Yeah, it's great deal. It's a great deal. We need people in the stands too.
A little more.
It's the biggest game we've had here in a long, long, long time.
I might go as far as saying it's the biggest game we've had here since we brought the program back, if not further, because there is so much riding on the line with McNeese coming in.
Yeah.
Let's do our just final touches on the SFA game. We talked about the defensive play, special teams, and just overall. What do you tell the guys after the game?
I mean, you just tell them that, hey, man, like sometimes when you get in those situations, you get a lot of people, especially people outside the locker room, that want to blame other people for the reason why you lost, and maybe a player or maybe a coach, something like that. And I told the guys, I said, don't allow people to do it. I mean, we have an incredible brotherhood going, and we want to keep it that way. And if they want to blame somebody, they can blame me. I'm the leader of the program, and I'm the guy that should take all the blame for a win, a loss, all that stuff. So that's really what we told them, and our guys have been really good all year and responded, to our adversity. And we've had our share of it for sure. With season-ending injuries early in preseason camp, and obviously that first game out in North Texas, and our guys have really done a great job of responding in those types of situations, and I wanted them to know that I'm proud of them, and I feel like they've always laid it on the line and played really, really hard. And in those types of games, playing hard is not good enough. You got to play with great detail. You got to execute in the timely fashion. We dropped 2 interceptions in the game that were sure interceptions. There were a couple others that we had a chance at and didn't get. These were sure interceptions.
And one of them was on their side of the 50 and at about the 35, and just didn't hang on to it.
Those plays you got to make, and we didn't make them. And when you're on the road, those things get amplified very, very quickly. And I talked to them about that, and I talked to them about where we are as a team, and what's at stake this weekend, other than obviously the elephant in the room is the border battle, playing the team in blue from across the border, and they're coming to town, and we had to go there last year, and you remember that game,
the crazy finish.
We lost it down. We had to kick a field goal on third down.
We did.
We had no clocks, no play clocks, no game clocks, and then we got a turnover late in the game. They went down, scored to take the lead. We had to convert a 4th and 18, and I mean, it was just a crazy game. We scored, then we had an offensive penalty, had to go back and score again to win the game.
And it is what it is. But I'm watching ESPN the next morning, and on that first touchdown we scored, and they called offensive pass interference. I think it was, I can't remember who it was, but he says, that's not pass interference. Yeah. Fortunately, Lamar got an extra down.
Yeah, it was Savon. And we weren't even running a pick play. There's times when you're down there and you're trying to get rubs and, the guys to get free. And we didn't even run a play like that. It was just a normal pass play.
Yep.
And, we got the flat pass interference. But that part of it is really adds a little fuel to the fire for us, and our guys. And what happened after the game, what ensued after the game.
Yeah, that.
There were some unfortunate things that happened.
And that comes with rivalries.
It does.
It shouldn't, but it does.
I mean, you want it to be exciting. You want it to be intense. But, in the end, someone's got to win. Someone's got to lose, unfortunately. And hopefully you take it like a man. And, I said after the game, Coach Carthel at SFA, man, they did an unbelievable job. I mean, they should feel good about their team. They got, again, one of the best defenses in the country, and we had more yards against them than anybody all year, and we felt pretty good about that. We just didn't convert on a lot of them. But this week, man, what a big game. Playoff implications, obviously. And really, really, I think turning the corner as a program, really important for us.
One quick other note about the Saturday's game in Nacogdoches. There was a lot, and I mean a lot, of red and white shirts in the stand. Cool. How about that? Thank you, Lamar fans, for coming out.
Yeah.
If you could come out in Nacogdoches, you got to come out in Beaumont. Come on in Southeast Texas. All right, the Battle of the Border. We'll talk about this, and then we get a break. We'll talk about it a little bit more. Just talk about McNeese. They're offensively scoring about 23, giving up about 26. Quarterback is Jake Strong. and he does throw the ball. He has 11 TDs with 13 picks. He also runs the ball because he has 7 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah. He's a Texas Tech transfer. He's a big physical quarterback. He can definitely throw it. He likes to run it. I think that always creates a problem when the quarterbacks can run and they're mobile. But, I think, offensively they're going to be a mirror image of Lamar. They're a big physical ball club, and they want to pound the rock and run the football. And, the good news about our guys is they see that every day. So they better be ready because they're going to see it Saturday. I know that.
Running back, where's number 20? He's a guy by the name of Colby Ham.
Yeah.
5 rushing touchdowns this year, about 500 yards rushing. What kind of – is he an elusive guy? Does he try to come right at you?
He's a big guy, and he's about 215 pounds, and he runs quick, and he gets in that hole, man. He lowers his shoulders, get behind his pads, and, he's fairly impressive. Well,
Cardinals got some big guys up front, too, so that'll be a pretty good collision.
It'll be a good collision for sure. We got to get free, though, in there.
Yeah. Receiving-wise, a couple of receivers I want to talk about. Malden, a couple touchdowns. Harris, 5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Are those 2 main targets, or they go pretty deep at the receiver?
I think that's their main targets. I think they got a tight end, number 41, who's a really good player, and number 21. Both guys play a lot, and they both can catch the ball and run, and they're good players. And they spread the ball around. A lot of guys get touches. A lot of guys, have factored in the pass game in the past. So we have to do a really good job of making sure we identify the pass routes and making sure we get in the throwing lanes.
Defensively, what will they show you?
They're going to look the part. They're going to walk out on their field, and you're going to say, "Wow, that's a good looking ball club." Mm-hmm. They got big, tall defensive ends, and they play a 4-down defense, and 4-down linemen, 3 linebackers, and really 2 linebackers, and then a bunch of DBs out there, and a lot of man coverage, and trying to outnumber you in the run box. I'm sure that's because they see the run box every day, so I'm sure that's the reason why they do that.
Not a bad ball club coming in here, and again with the rivalry. Now they're 4-7, but when you're talking Southland Conference football, don't look at records. Especially don't look at a record when it's a rival game.
Nah, you could throw those out the window. This is going to be 0-0, in the win-loss column for both teams, and both teams are looking for respect and dignity against each other, and obviously they've historically had the best of this rivalry, and. We're trying to even the playing fields here.
That's coming up Saturday. That's a 3:00 kickoff. Again, don't forget about our ticket special. Talking about 4 tickets for $19. 4 tickets for $19. That's good for the rest of today. Get them online. They're good again tomorrow online or by calling 409-880-1715. Need a lot of red or white over there. Going to be back with more on the Coach Pete Rossomando Show here on the patio on News Talk 560 KLVI. KLVI back out at the patio with the Coach Pete Rossomando Show. I'd just like to know if you'd like to join us for this segment.
I figured you could handle it on your own.
Oh, yeah, but we need Coach Ross here. Let's talk a little bit about the Cardinals and McNeese. The Cardinals step on the field tomorrow. Saturday. Wish Saturday was here. Where it'll serve as both Senior Day, and the Cardinals will recognize 24 members of the senior class at the start of the game.
Yeah.
Now, you've had these kids for 3 years.
Well, some of them.
Some of them for
1 year, 2 years,
but still. Some of these guys been in for 3 years. Yeah. Just talk about it goes without saying, but I want you to talk about it. How these kids have turned this program around.
Yeah, a lot of people use the term love. Hey, we love these guys, but I truly feel like, I have an unmeasured amount of gratitude and love towards these guys like Major Bowden and Braden Faulkner and Christian Booker and those guys like Christian Pugh, and these guys are right now they're the heart and soul of our football team, and they put so much into it, and in this day and age of transient football, they could have left at any time.
And you look like just mention those guys, Devin. There's so many of these kids. Remember, their first year here, they were 1-10. and they stuck around.
Well, Devin was here the year before too, and they were worse, I think, or pretty close to
2-9 maybe.
Yeah. So he, he's been through it, and to see the way they've fought to turn this thing around, and it doesn't just happen because you hire a great coach. That obviously we have unbelievable coaches on our staff, but it's a shift in thought process of the players, and the standard in the building every day. And I remember hearing some guys talk about the attitude and the air in the building when they walked in every day, before we all got there, and how, depressing it was, and just to show up every day. And to hear them talk about how they can't wait to get to the building in the morning, and they can't wait to see the guys and be around the players. And that just, it really warmed my heart for those guys. And again, I'll do anything for any of my players, but these guys are special to Lamar University, to this university. They put this university back on the map.
I don't cross paths a whole lot with the players, but on Mondays, every Monday we have our weekly press conference with you to talk about the week just finished and the upcoming week, and I feel it from, and again, past is past. You go in there in the past, you're there. But the guys I see, the few guys I see in the hallway on Monday, they're having fun.
Yeah.
They just, you talk about Paul a couple of weeks ago where he decided he was going to take over your press conference before he got there.
Talk about young boy's birthday.
Yeah, talk about young boy's birthday. And that's the attitude you now see in your field house.
Yeah. I think they all understand what the standard is. They all understand what the culture looks like. And it allows people to be themselves because they know in what space they live in. And I think that always allows them to be, the best versions of themselves. And the guys that aren't usually are not here anymore. Usually they're leaving, going somewhere else, or being shown the door on the way out. So we have way less of those now than we did my first year here. So really, really pleased with what our guys have done and the culture that they've set, and the way they go about their daily operation is just, it's incredible. And we all have our hiccups. We're dealing with 18 to 22-year-old guys, and there are some things that happen, and guys, sleep in, or guys miss their alarm, or guys, forget to do this, or, forget to not wear their hood in the building. And, it's okay. They're 18 to 22 years old, and we know they're going to make mistakes, and they're going to be held accountable. But yeah, they have done an unbelievable job of creating a culture of sustainability and a championship culture.
Of course, there's still 60 minutes of football against McNeese on Saturday, but this team, this program, has something that could happen Saturday that's not happened in decades. 56, then a few years, 66 and 67. That's the last time Lamar has beaten McNeese State 3 years in a row. Yeah. You can do it with a win on Saturday. And I say we're going back to 1967.
Yeah. I mean, it's every game we play against them is going to be tightly contested, and we know that, and it's going to be a four-quarter battle. And like I said, they have ruled overall. They've ruled the record in this rivalry. So Lamar's got some catching up to do for sure. So we got to keep working at it.
Well, we're heading in that direction.
We're trying.
We're heading in that direction. A win Saturday would set a new single-season record as a 4-year institution with 9 wins. And that's just amazing. Okay, I'm going to read a resume real quick, and this was sent out today by the conference. And 9 wins after Saturday, then you got to watch a show on Sunday hoping you're getting at large. Listen to Lamar this season. One of 5 teams in the country with 2 top 15 wins. 4th-ranked South Dakota and then Southeastern. Only lost to UIW, who is also one of those 5 teams with 2 top 15 wins. They beat ACU by 31 and, of course, beat Lamar. 8 FCS victories, tied for all-time record for a 4-year program. Win over UTRGV, a top emerging program nationally. Playing for their longest winning season since 1949. Longest win streak, 7, which they had earlier this year since the 1970s. Elite defense, number 11 nationally in third down defense. Strong numbers in scoring and total defense. 2 national players of the week with Kendon Fusler and Ben Woodard. a resume and November profile that mirrors just teams nationally, a true top 16 team candidate. And I mean, it's right there. And of course, got to get the win on Saturday over McNeese. And I don't know where that committee's at, but they cannot overlook these numbers.
No,
you got a great resume.
That's why we need those fans out there this weekend. You know, we need to pack the stands, and we need to make it difficult for McNeese here, because we're going to need all the help we can get in this one. I promise you that. So come on out and support us. Get that $19 4-pack. And, and bring some people to the game that you didn't expect to go. Hey, man, like you're talking about it tomorrow over coffee, and let's get them there. And if they come, I'll buy them Chick-fil-A on Jeff O'Malley. So.
Got that. He's kind of hiding his face over there right now. And who knows, he could go hang out with the Coors Light tailgate.
Yeah, you got to be careful over there, though. You may not make it out. With Hanky, he gets going over there.
Well, know, I think that being this is our final home game, you got to give him a little headset so he could radio down the plays for you to call from the flight deck.
Yeah, our D coordinator, Coach Chris' son, he's got one of those little play ones. We'll give that to Hanky. He can call plays on that thing. The
little plastic one?
Yeah, the Fisher-Price one. Yeah, we'll give it to him. He can call plays on it.
He'd use it. We are at the patio again. Enjoyed it all year long. Thank you so much for Lamar University, the Sheila Humphrey Rec Center for hosting our show. We're going to tell you, after we beat McNeese State, after we get a bid to the national playoffs, we're back here next week for an additional show. Yeah! There we go. Yeah. Tell you what, we're going to get another break in. We're talking Cardinal football. Yeah! With Coach Pete Rossomando on News Talk 560 KLVI. We're back at the patio. News Talk 560 KLVI. Harold Mann with you. We're back at the patio here at the Sheila Humphrey Rec Center. Well, we went to the bullpen. We go to the bullpen, bring in the lefty for this next segment. We're joined by Athletic Director Jeff O'Malley, and Jeff, just that ticket, sensational ticket offer. You're offering 4 tickets for $19. Just talk about that and how our fans can get them.
Yeah, well, it was a great shout out to our marketing staff and our ticketing staff for coming up with that promotion. I mean, we're 19th in the country. It was November 19th, and so we wanted to put that, tie those all in together today and tomorrow. They're really going fast. I think we've sold over 100 tickets today on that
the first day.
Yeah, on the first day of it. So we're really looking forward to it, and we're getting a really good feedback on it. And I think we're going to have a great crowd at the football game. It's going to be band day, so there's going to be a lot of high school band members there and their parents. And we do have a number of groups that are coming out as well. So it's going to be a great day.
Talking with Jeff O'Malley, Athletic Director, and just as you as an AD here, these seniors that are part of our game, in all likelihood, the final game at Provost Humphrey this season, hopefully not the final game overall. But just as an AD, what has these kids meant to this program?
They turned it around. And I echo a lot of what Pete said, and what those kids have done here to turn this program around will not be forgotten. And to see some of them, and show the gratitude, to us for making an investment in their program, making their experience a first-class experience. But that feeling is reciprocated to them as well, and just a lot of love to them. That's the one thing I really think what sets Pete apart of it is that even though he coaches them hard, he still loves them, right? And he still tells them he loves them even after he coaches them hard.
I think he used the word gratitude.
Yeah, well, but I've heard him use the word love, and
oh, he does, without a doubt.
Yeah, the other coach I've heard use the word love a lot of times. He's had a lot of success, and that's John Calipari. And he did a lot of the same things, and so, but I think that we really respect those kids. They've represented the program really well. They've turned it around. They've done things here that have never been done before. and they're always going to be welcome back. They're always going to be Cardinals, and we really look forward to welcoming them back the same way. The same way that we look forward to welcoming back the 2010 team.
I heard in the neighborhood of about 60 or more. Are coming in, and
it was 50 as of yesterday, and so it could be close to 60 now.
And that's from the 2010 team.
Yep.
And uniquely enough, brought football back in 2010, opened up the season that year at McNeese State, and they're coming back for a game here in Beaumont against McNeese State.
Yeah, and I know they're really excited about it. They're going to be, Dr. Simmons and his wife Susan are going to be flipping the coin.
Very good.
Dr. Simmons was the president that brought football back. The team's going to be recognized on the field as well, and we're really looking forward to honoring them.
Do you believe, and I really believe this as well, you've got winning programs all across the board here at Lamar. Do you think with one team winning that kind of trickles down, and I guess winning is contagious from sport to sport?
I think winning is really contagious. It's an attitude, it's a mentality you have to have. And I think football really helps set the tone for that for the remainder of the year. Coach talked about having that air in the building. It was a lot different. I mean, I was here.
Yeah, you were.
I was here during that 1-11 season, and it was hard to open up the door and walk into the Dolphin complex, during that year, because it was just there wasn't a positive attitude in there. And to walk in there now and see, people they're having fun, they're working hard, and there's an expectation of success. And that expectation of success was not here 3 years ago across the board.
You talk about we're recognizing the seniors on Saturday. I think I saw 24 is the number, and that's with football. There's so much more involved. We have our cheerleaders. We have our band members. There's so many other seniors that are going to be recognized as well, because there's so much that goes into a Saturday afternoon home football game. Yeah,
and it's great, right? It's a great way to honor those kids, and we really do appreciate, from top to bottom, right? Cheerleaders, dance team, band members, all our student managers and student trainers that help out, and our interns, our student interns, and help out in the ticket office and marketing and so forth and so on. We really do appreciate what goes on, what they do for us, and help to put a first-class product on the field.
Real quick here before we get out of here, we've got the winter sports coming up. Basketball's underway. Volleyball's getting ready for the Southland tournament.
Yeah.
Just a lot else going on. The men's get a big win at Louisiana Monroe on Monday night, so we're off and rolling.
Yeah, and women's basketball playing right now, over at the Montaigne Center. And, the men had a great showing. The women had a great game on Sunday, beating UT Arlington. I know the men leave tomorrow for Montana. They got two really tough games in Montana, playing Montana and Oakland. And Oakland's always, I know both those coaches, they're both very, very well coached teams. And if we can get wins in those games, those are going to be great quality wins for not only Lamar University but the Southland Conference. And from top to bottom, the Southland Conference men's basketball right now is really tough. It's the 18th ranked league in the country.
That's pretty strong.
Yeah, and 4 years ago, it was 31st. So we've really come a long way on that. So, but there's going to be some great quality basketball in the Montaigne Center and H's Arena coming up here this season.
Jeff, thank you so much for filling in this segment, and let's have a huge crowd out there on Saturday.
Thank you, sir.
Jeff O'Malley, Athletic Director at Lamar University. We're back with Coach Pete Rossomando on News Talk 560 KLVI. News Talk 560 KLVI. You actually got the applause started that time.
I'm getting them started. That's right.
Got them started.
They're over there drinking beer, so they're not ready to clap their hands.
Yeah, they're gonna have to put the beer bottle down to clap, so that's the problem.
Hanky knows how to clap his hands with a beer bottle in his hand.
No, his is clank because he's got a beer in each hand. Hey, we're talking Lamar football on News Talk 560 KLVI. New Jersey Nick's tuned in tonight.
Oh, yeah, he's on. He wants me to say hello to him. So, hey, Nick, what's going on, buddy? Hope you're doing good.
We always enjoy Nick checking us out on Wednesday nights. By the way, we've been talking about that 4 tickets, $19. rest of today and all tomorrow. You can do that today, of course, online tomorrow, and also by calling 409-880-1715. And I also just been told the first 500 through the gates at Provost Humphrey on Saturday get a replica of Provost Humphrey Stadium.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I don't know if you've seen it yet.
I've not seen it yet.
It's a figurine. It's really cool.
No, I've seen your NFL, Major League Baseball. I've seen things like that.
No, this is real. They did a great job. They did an amazing job putting that together. Yeah.
Do they have you? Cool. Do they have you with the headset down there?
No. Thank goodness. Nobody would want that.
We have about a little over 5 minutes to go in the show. Let's just talk about what lies ahead. Of course, you got to take care of business on Saturday with McNeese coming in town, the Battle of the Border.
Yeah.
If someone's just jumping on board with us, tell us about the Cowboys a little bit.
Again, I think they're Coach Viator, who's been there a long time and had a lot of success, came back and is doing a really good job putting that team back together. And have a lot of respect for him and his staff. They do a really good job. But yeah, I mean, we're going to be ready to go. Our guys are excited about this game and opportunity to play that team across the border and really give us an opportunity to end this season the right way. And I think they've shown how passionate they can be about what they're doing, and they've shown what their mission is, and they're going to go out there and play really hard on Saturday.
And I'm sure with something Jeff talked about with the 2010 team coming back, I'm sure your players would like to show them a little bit and just represent them as well.
Well, I mean, there's a ton of gratitude for them. I think they got this thing started. I've been on. I coached at New Haven where we brought football back, and that first team is always really special when you're bringing it back and because they put so much, they were here when there wasn't a Dauphine Athletic Center, and they were practicing it, and I think their locker rooms were in the Montaigne Center.
Yes, and the coach's office were in the Montaigne Center.
Or in the press box. I mean, they're trying to figure it out, and those guys, they've been through a lot of stuff, and I'm so glad 50 of them are coming back, and we got a lot of guys that are involved in the program that have played for Lamar in the past. Joe Persan being one of them is and his boys both played here, and it's great to have those guys come back and talk about the things that they had here and the friendships that they made, and all the things that are special about being a Lamar alum.
Now, any of them have a chance to address your team at all? I know you're coaching.
Bucky White came out and talked to the team a bunch of times, and we've had obviously Joe's got a lot of guys that he knows, and he brings them back to talk to the team. Steve Colazzo is always
Coach
around
Colazzo,
the team, and he's always around the coaches, and he's doing our coaches Bible study in the morning tomorrow. So I mean, the alums here are a special group, and I spend time with a guy. I didn't play football here, but a guy named Mike Jenkins, who's a local guy and a guy that he is so passionate about Lamar, and he loves Lamar, and Phil Fuller, and people like that who are just so passionate about this place. And I love being around them, and that's the reason why I love being here, and I love coaching at Lamar. And we obviously you met our AD on he's an amazing guy and puts a lot of heart and soul into Lamar athletics, but our president obviously, and the whole team here is amazing, and it's been a really fun ride to get this thing where it needs to be.
That's going to be a 3:00 kickoff on Saturday afternoon with McNeese coming in. Have a couple more minutes to go into the show. Just talk about the countdown to kickoff.
Countdown to kickoff. Yeah, we got a big day tomorrow. I know that. We got a big practice coming, and we got to make sure we take care of business and dot all the I's and cross all the T's to get ready for Saturday against a really good McNeese team. And we got that starts with practice tomorrow, and then we'll carry off into a extended recovery time for a home game. We don't bring the guys back till Friday at 2:00, and from there we kind of get into our Friday routine, which is meeting, team meeting, position meeting, special teams meeting, go on the field for a walkthrough, and then we have a big team dinner on Friday night and get the guys together and really have a lot of bonding and brotherhood and let those guys eat good food. I'm Italian, so everything revolves around food. Good food, and we know that Bill Carden and local guy around here is going to be doing the dinner for us, cooking, and We love his food, and our guys, they just literally eat it up.
Okay, what's your favorite Italian dish?
Chicken Parmesan.
Oh, me too. I mean, I don't even know why they hand me a menu.
That's a staple, yeah.
And I go out and
the first thing I ever try at any restaurant I go to, Italian restaurant, is chicken parm. Because if they can't do that, they can't do anything else right. So that's the first thing I get. And I go to Bruno's in Beaumont. They got excellent chicken parm. So.
Yeah. About a minute to go here, real quick.
Yeah.
Gonna recognize those seniors. What's the emotions on your side? Do you think it's gonna be?
Not much. I'll be honest with you. I mean, I'm not planning on that being the finality.
Right.
With those guys. So I know for them it'll be hard. It'll be tough because it's the last football game in Provost Humphrey, and that's always emotional. But for me, I feel like we've made lifelong friends. We've made lifelong Lamar Cardinals and guys that are going to keep coming back and giving back to our players and giving back to our NIL programs. And, that's really what we're trying to develop here. And that's really the way I feel about these guys. And, our main focus this week was sending these guys out the right way. That's my main focus. And, my guys will tell you I'm on 10 this week. That's been my intensity is 10 right now because I really want to send these guys out, these guys that I really love, with a win.
All right, got to go, Coach. We'll see you Saturday. Everybody,
Right,
get out, support your Cardinals.